All right, here's the second part of our 7-on-7 play video. Again, go to Playbook. If you're on Huddle, Playbook, click Installs, make sure on Offense, and part 2 now. All right, so this is all we're really going to focus on. I think we might have a few add-ins, but at this point, guys, I really just want to nail down these concepts and these plays. So this second part has our Denver concept, which is our dig, drag, Vegas, which is verticals, smash, which is our hitch corner concept, and then railroad and special. All right, so here we go. Okay, so Denver. Okay, so the called receiver on Denver runs a 12-yard dig. All right. If you get across the field and there's a big hole, settle. That's what that arrow means. Okay. The opposite slot. Okay, or the Y. There are some variations of this, but default the Y is just going to run a drag. So get to 5 and then drag across the field. Again, if you get across the opposite offensive lineman, settle in space. Okay. The outside receiver next to the dig runs a skinny post. All right. And then the backside receiver or the receiver next to the drag runs a 14-12 comeback. All right. A theme you're going to see on a lot of these drops is if I'm breaking on a post, I want to aim for the corner's outside shoulder so I have more spacing. All right. You're going to see kind of that on the drops. But for the quarterback here, again, there's a lot of different ways you can read this. And 7-on-7, I think the best way is if you got a comeback and you like your one-on-one, take it. Okay, again, we got to get to this route a lot more. Otherwise, read the play side safety. If he's sitting on the dig, I think we got a one-on-one over the top. If the safety's really, really deep, we just see the dig coming across the middle of the field. Okay, for the drag, again, this could be like an emergency route. So 1, 2, or 3, and then this F is on a backside sit route. So like we mentioned in the previous video, we call this 58 or 59 for the back. But when he hears Denver, he knows he should run a 5-yard C route. It's not a hitch, it's not a sit. It's kind of where the C gap is. That's why it's called the C route. All right. Again, if we wanted to motion, we could go tray right, gun H, switch. But for Denver, we need to know that the call receiver runs a dig, the outside closest runs a skinny post, the backside or the outside receiver by the drag runs a comeback, and then we got the Y underneath. So this is a concept that works good versus 2 high safeties and a lot of zone coverage. Okay, so this is a good goal line or a 2-point play. It's the same play except now it's X Denver swap. So again, by our rules, the X, he's the called receiver, runs the 12-yard dig, but now the H has to run the hard post in this instance. So that's why we're calling it swap. The Y and the Z have the same exact play. All right, so for the quarterback, the dig seems to be open, especially when that safety's taken on the post. But we got to be alert. We still have the one-on-one with the comeback. If that safety wants to flare out, we might be able to hit almost like a bender here on the post. And then we still have, if it's like straight hard man or 2-man emergency drag on the backs on the coming underneath. So kind of the same reads. Then for kind of the same reads to the quarterback with H Denver and X Denver swap. Okay, we've been working this a lot the last weekend. This is bunch right, gun tight. Okay, H Denver. So again, our same rules. H runs the dig. The outside receiver on the side of the dig runs a skinny post. Again, you can see how we're aiming outside to give us leverage on the inside. Okay, we're going to tag the X on the drag and then the F on a wheel. Okay, the X on this has to go under the Y, similar to railroad. And we got the F on the alert wheel. So for the quarterback, again, kind of on down and distance. If it's short yardage, I might look to one of these drags coming open, or I might want to alert the F. If it's longer yardage, we want to get the ball downfield. So we might look, kind of read this play side safety. If he hangs on the dig, we can go over the top. If he gets back, we can hit the dig across the middle. So very similar. This is more, though, of a man beater and also maybe a goal line play with the F coming out of the backfield. Okay, going to our Vegas concept. So V for verticals, all right? Again, there's themes to these concepts. So the outside receivers, you got to get vertical. You got to stay out of the quarterback's grass. And if the quarterback likes it, he has to take it. I mean, if these safeties are really, really tight to the middle of the field, we got to take our matchups here. So quarterbacks, don't be afraid just to throw it out there. But the concepts, the H or the called receiver has the bender. All right, the bender means he gets vertical to 10. At 10, he has 2 options. If the middle is open, no safety, he can bend underneath and expect the ball. If there's one high safety, or that's also known as middle closed, he stays vertical. All right. The lock seam or the back or the other slot, the non-called slot, stays vertical no matter what. Okay, he's locked on. If it's one high safety, the quarterback will look off and throw it to the slot. If it's too high, quarterback can look bender or a one-on-one option. All right. We're going to start tagging an angle route or a chair route to this for the back as a good check down. So the quarterback's eyes are usually in the middle of the field anyway. If it all looks gross, he can come back to the chair route. All right. We can also run this from a motion perspective, tray right, gun, H switch, just to get the defense moving. So pretty self-explanatory, I think. We just got to win one-on-ones and the quarterback, one high, two high, take your best matchup. We could also tag this Y Vegas. It would just flip. The Y now has the bender and the H has the lock seam. All right. Next, swag or switch. It means the 1 and 2, the X and the H are switching lanes. So the X almost makes this look like a shake route at the top, and now he's the bender. Break in versus middle open, stay vertical versus middle closed. Okay, the X goes in front, the H goes behind, and he just has a one-on-one go route. All right, so we could swag the Z. That would now be called Z Vegas swag. So the Z would go in front with the bender, the Y would go out on the right side. But most of the time we've been running this, we've been calling it X Vegas swag. So this would be a good way to beat man coverage or kind of confuse the defense. Okay, tray left gun. Okay, 53 H Vegas X post. Okay, so this is just a way to get 3x1. Okay, so when we are going 3x1 Vegas, the Y, the number 3 receiver, has to flatten off at 10. Okay, if he gets too deep, he starts running into this backside go route or post route. So get across the field and then flatten. Very similar to over route. The H still has the bender and the Z still has the one-on-one. Okay, so quarterback, again, take your matchup. If you think the X has it, take it. We don't love throwing a field go route, so that might be canceled in your brain. And then, we might have a soft safety hole here on this over route by the Y. Okay, and then we have the check down for the F. Okay. If we want to get kind of another variation, so if we go F8, so the F motions out pre-snap. Again, that's in the motion video. So triple right gun. Okay, now we got 56 H Vegas. So the F already knows he runs a go route. We can tag 56. Okay, the real tag though is the Y drag. Okay, so Y drag underneath. The Z now is running that over route to kind of flatten it out away from the safety, and the H runs the bender. All right. Quarterback, again, if there's a soft safety, you might like the Z. If it's too high middle open, you might like the H. If it's straight man, you might like the drag. If you like the matchup with the F, take it. It's kind of up to what you're seeing. I don't want to micromanage you. Coach Danny doesn't want to micromanage you. We just want you to get good at these concepts. I think, if this Z can get across the field, you should see some soft field space there. All right, and this is kind of how we used to run clear for some of the old guys. I'm just going to call it Vegas Z dig. Okay, so as you can tell, there's no bender tag. Okay, so the H just runs a lock seam. The Y, since it's 3x1 Vegas, runs an over and flattens it out. But the Z tag is really probably going to open up here the best, I think. So if you remember on clear, the H would run a wheel, but I think a seam just clears it out better. And if we want to tag the X on a post, we can. But the real idea on this is to try to get a nice open hole for the Z to run a dig. All right, at 12 yards. All right, now let's go to our smash concept. Okay, so when you guys hear smash, you should be thinking hitch by the outside receiver, corner by the slot receiver. All right, so we dress it up. So we want to make sure you understand the concept is a hitch and a corner. All right, so 57 smash. This is out of Bombers. We're just pretty much putting the F on a seam. So if it's too high, Jaden, I would look, or the quarterback, I think the F should hopefully be running by the mic. If the safeties collapse, we got to throw the corner. We can get really specific about the corner routes. The main rule is that if there's a high safety, flatten it down. If there's a low corner, keep it high. All right. The variation is delayed dig. So if we're on the goal line, or really this should be default outside receivers, once you run your hitch, if you're in man coverage, you should start kind of creeping inside, especially on the goal line. That's a safety outlet for the quarterback. All right. Another variation is smash. Okay, this has been a great play for us. It's going to be a killer play all season. So it's smash X stem post. Everyone else is still running smash. The left side runs regular smash. The H runs smash. The only difference is the X now is running a shake variation at the top and then just breaking to the post, okay? H has to get out. You got to get your ass moving. The X needs to get behind you and then break late to the middle, okay? Most of the times, the middle of the field has been open and it's been a really, really good play. If the safeties are thick in the middle of the field, we have to come off to a corner or a check down, all right? We can't get stuck forcing the ball to the middle when they got a safety staying in there. But in too high, this has been a really, really nice play for us. Okay, we can run stem post at a tray. We haven't done it, but we need to come to it more, okay? This should be not 55. This should be 53. Let me quickly change that. Okay, so again, think smash. There's a hitch. There's a corner. Okay, we tag H stem post. Now he's the one getting behind the corner and breaking in late. Okay, it won't make sense to run the X on a post here, so we put him on a shake route. So quarterback, if it's if it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 on the backside, you might want to go the shake combination. If it's too high, I think this H stem post should probably be open. But again, if you got guys thick in the middle, we got to either throw the shake or the corner. And if it all looks gross, go to your check down. All right. But this is a variation of stem post I want to start running. Okay, going to railroad. We've ran this a lot this spring. Let's just go over the concepts. So the F on railroad runs a wheel. Okay, I don't think we need to tag you on the wheel anymore. If you hear railroad cold, you're running wheel to the right. The Z, you're running a sit route at 9 yards. This was awful today. You're sitting right behind linebackers. Find the space and sit. Okay, if you're behind a linebacker, break in, break out, but we cannot sit. This is the second read for the quarterback. Quarterback, your first read is the F. Okay, if you think the corner is playing deep over the top, it needs to be an automatic conversion to a comeback. We need to take this throw. All right, we're just going to start making an automatic comeback variation. Okay, a lot of times in these coverages, these corners just drop, and then there's a lot of soft space there. All right, quarterback, if the wheel looks gross, look 2 to your sit route. 3 should be your H coming on the under. Okay, the Y here is over, the H is under, and then the X as a post curl as a 1-on-1 option. But most of the time we're running this in man coverage, short yardage. I think this F converting this to a comeback is going to be a really tough play for the defense. But the Z also has to be the good second option for the quarterback. Okay, another way to just kind of get a variation in. This is how we used to run sail in the fall. It was a great play for us. We just kind of spiced it up a little bit. So again, rodeo is a straight rollout. The F just goes and blocks. Okay, sail, the H just runs a 10-yard speed out. The Y, you're essentially just on a push out. Z, we're just going to put you on a shake route. Okay, so in, vertical, high angle, quarterback, read this high to low. And if you don't see anything and you think everyone's over pursuing the rollout, we have the X on the backside. Okay. So again, I know you guys have seen these plays a lot. I really want to get good at these variations moving forward. That way we can get some confidence with some of these plays. So Denver, Vegas, smash, railroad, and then we just got a variation of sail. All right. See you guys tomorrow.